Hey everybody, Jess Intuitive Angel Healer here with your Grounded. It's Why Not Wednesday, and tonight we have Sophia Cecil. She's a nutritionist, wellness coach, and let's say hello to Sophia. Hi Sophia, how are you today?
Hi, Jesse. I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing very well. Thank you so much for coming on this Why Not Wednesday Empowered Woman Spotlight Series. We have 16 beautiful souls participating, and I picked you up along the way, and you are the face of empowerment. Um, and that's why I wanted to bring you here to share your story. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you. And you just go ahead and tell us your age, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Before answering your question, Jesse, I'm very happy to be here and I'm humble. I'm grateful that you even picked me up for this and choose me for this Empowered Women thing. So thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
that. And you're a wonderful woman by yourself, so I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
And answering your question, I'm from Nepal. There where I born. And after my graduation in biochemistry field back home, I came here in United States for, exploring my own dreams, finding out my own dreams. So,
How old were you when you did that?
I was 27,
How
maybe
old are how old are
27,
you
20,
now? I know it's not a fun
30.
question, but it's good for the series here.
Yeah, 34.
44?
34.
34.
Yes,
Okay. Awesome.
yes, yes.
Hey, you did that good. That's
Yeah,
a good
yes.
time limit to be in.
Absolutely. Yeah. I chase my dream. I have my hunger with me, fire in me. And I want to explore that. I wanted to explore more, to find out about myself, what is my purpose of my life and where I can go and how far I can go, how I can impact lives. There are so many women, they are looking at me and, you know, uh, if I do it, if I can do it, why can't, if she did it, why can't I,
Exactly.
So that's why I take it as my responsibility, wherever you have that, duty, you have the power, you have responsibility as well. It comes with you, and that is the pressure I'm taking in right now,
Nice.
and try to impact many women and men out there.
Well, you're
So,
doing a good job by coming out here. So you came from Nepal and in your 20s and mid 20s, and then you became well, along the way now you've become a nutritionist, wellness coach, and you're a certified lactation consultant. That's what a CLC is, right?
right, certified lactation counselor. Yes,
Counselor.
ma'am.
And
Mm-hmm.
you are the founder of Body to Soul Nutrition Services.
Services, that's right.
Now, what is that a little?
Actually, I'm sorry.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Body to Soul Nutrition service, I started as soon as I finished my degree in nutrition, and I wanted to be coach. I wanted to do something. I want to serve more people out there. So I got my certification then you know, um, after becoming nutritionist, and that was in 2013. So I had my fire with me, I had my hunger, but I was very introvert. I was I was raised in the community where women doesn't speak their mind,
Yeah.
who wait for their permission, somebody else permission to shine, oh, hey, you can do it, it's not like I want to do it, it's like, okay, if somebody tell you, okay, that's okay, you can do it, then only you get courage. But it took me a while to understand that, potential. And
Yeah,
I was improving. Yes,
it is hard. It is hard to that's we're like the one thing that holds us back is us. Our mind,
absolutely.
it's nothing else. No big fire pits you have to jump over. It's you're prisoner of your own mind sometimes, and it's your ego that
Absolutely.
holds you back half the time.
You are absolutely right, because mindset is the key here.
Yeah.
It is the key here, So it took me a while to understand that. And, I was kind of going out there. I was trying to explore what I can do to be better, speaking out my mind, polishing my or improving my personal development, speaking in front of the camera, is speaking, who I am, and protecting my domain. That was my biggest fear, So at moment, whenever I opening my mind moment, that spark, and then
Is that how Body to Soul Nutrition Service was
yes.
born?
So it is, the purpose of this service is to help aligning your body, your mind, and soul, all three at the same level, and balancing out equally. Without one, other two cannot survive here.
Exactly.
Nutrition, fitness is in one. This is one pillar of your, your balance, of your, empowerment. You empower yourself first before you empower somebody else.
Now,
So if that makes sense.
what do you do exactly with the Body to Soul Nutrition Services?
Absolutely.
Is it a
I
program or is it like a system? What exactly do your clients get with it?
Sure. This is, I would say it's a program that help you, help you understand you need to improve your personal development section. It's like a whole thing, like from inside out. If you're an introvert, you kind of start exposing yourself, showing you, if you're not afraid to get out there, and if you understand your potential, this program will help you to have good health, have that fitness, and by doing that, you are kind of influencing more people, and you are helping more lives,
Nice.
so
That's,
it's
we
like
definitely need more
more.
of that.
Right, absolutely. And, you as a spiritual soul, you and I, we are the soul, we are the pillar of this community right now more than ever.
Yes,
So right
exactly.
now it's people understanding the value of self-care, value of you more than, value of the drugs, value of the medicine. So
Exactly.
we are the shining star right now, and we can impact many lives right now,
Nice.
I think.
Nice. Well, we're going to get to these questions real quick about the empowered woman. So I want to just ask you real quick, when you close your eyes and you imagine an empowered woman, what description comes to your mind?
Absolutely. First of all, I love this question because I have to get actually, find out my own answer for this. And I have ready-made answer in my head already. Because, when I close my eyes, I think of my mom. She is my my hero. She is my empowered women at first, having three girls, in her in 20s, I think. She
Wow.
started, yeah, we are three siblings and she has three girls. She has her own business. She started in her 20s,
Oh, wow.
but because in my country there was very minimal amount of number of daycares, and people used to spend whole time with their kids. So even then it was challenging for her to stand out and do something for her, but she did. She did have her own business. Um, Even though she didn't have much education, but she stand out for herself,
And
and that,
that really helped you keep
yes,
continuing
that
to go,
really,
huh?
absolutely, that really helped me to protect your dreams. You protect your dreams by yourself. Nobody will give it to you in your hand, until you protect yourself and stand out for the beliefs, what who you are. And you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. Nobody.
Yep. That's pretty
Not
much what
even
it
your
is. You're
parents.
your first best friend. You're your first client. Your first
Absolutely.
if you can't be your own client, then nobody else is going to want to be your client either. So
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
have to talk the talk. So that's pretty awesome.
Mm.
And moms are always, I think, always are. When I
Our
tell
role
people,
model.
because
Yes.
they went through so much to get us there, and then you take
Right.
for granted that until you become a mom yourself, and you're like,
Absolutely.
I'm surprised
Absolutely.
my mom didn't kill me. Like, how am I still alive? Because I know I did things that drove my mom up the wall, and I was that annoying kid and that talked a lot. So yeah,
Right.
I love my mom, and thank you, mom, for still letting me
Yeah.
do this,
Thank you,
because I
Mom.
understand
Yeah.
now. I have a 9-year old, and
Right. Right. And we
I
do
got it
so
back.
much. Yeah. Mom does so much for us. And I think we take it so many things for granted. And thank you, Mom. That's
Yes,
what I want to say
thank you.
also.
That's really cool. So that's really cool. That's your empowered person who you think of. So tell us a little bit about your personal path of empowerment. You kind of touched on it a little bit. What would you say is most significant about your path, and challenging and most rewarding?
Absolutely. I think most challenging, I would say, is the women. I wanted to come out of that cocoon, when I was in, because basically what we have the concept here these days is, getting good education in very good universities, and getting master, getting PhDs, whatever it is, your goal, personal goal, that doesn't mean you can impact many lives. I've seen so many people who has double masters, PhDs, good universities education, but they are still doubting themselves for
Or
some
they're
reason.
with a toxic person who's ruining their self-esteem.
Absolutely. You speak my mind, girl, because yeah, you have to break that barrier. You have to be surrounding, you have to have some good, positive people around you to show you that you can do it, to say it like it's not that bad, to say
Exactly.
that, you are not alone,
Exactly.
so I think you are right in that part, because you have to surround yourself with good people to move forward.
Exactly. What would you say is most rewarding about your because it's always easy to pick out the hard part, because we always, I think, we tend to focus on that a little bit more. But what would you say would be the most rewarding thing um from your your about what it would be about 10-15 years ago? So about
Right,
15 years ago, because you came out here in your mid 20s and you're almost to
right,
40 now. So What
Right.
would you say is most rewarding that you've done along your battle to where you've gotten to now? Because we're not always at where we want to be. You're not going to stop here.
Right.
You're obviously going to go farther. But what would you say would be the most rewarding thing that you've encountered?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I become different person as a whole. Back 10 years before, I was different girl. I was different Sophia. I was just Sophia then. Now I think I'm impacting many lives. In my community, and that makes me keep going, keep pushing, to that bring my different level of hunger in me, where I need to do something bigger than this,
Yeah.
always chasing, always learning to push myself a little bit further. As you know that I have 2 years old, it's a little bit harder to balance that,
Yeah.
and sometimes you kind of oh God kind of
Lose your cookies.
situation. Right, yeah, I need that bunches of cookies. But realizing that this is not only my life, this my life is for somebody else, like I think of giving more and more to community.
And you know what? Touching on your point of that, we are women and we're moms. And you know what? When that happens, if somebody was doing an interview, that would be my life. And if somebody, even if you were famous and your kid came and ran up and wanted a hug and wanted to sit in your lap, you know what? That's life. And if
Yeah,
you're gonna on Facebook one day, I was in this group and another woman actually accosted this woman and said, "How dare you do a live and how dare you have your kid come up in the middle?" And I said, "How dare you?" Because
yeah,
first of all, I don't want you watching my show if you expect perfection because I am
right,
not perfect. I am the one girl that'll make everyone in America feel better because I will make the mistake in front of everyone. I will trip in front of 1,000 people and smile and wave when I'm done because that's what life is about. It's about making mistakes and it's about being human. And if women, that's why I wanted to do this series because you know what? I could have done it really high budget and but no, I wanted this to empower the women of we're everyday women and you know what? It's okay if your child comes in to the middle of your work. It's okay. You know,
absolutely,
it's
you are
not
100.
okay to ignore your child and be like, "Go away, child. I don't have."
Right,
No, you bring that child in and you work it in. And if we could just start laughing at ourselves, and that is the best thing that I can advice I can give to you and other ladies out there that when you make a mistake,
absolutely,
smile and laugh and keep on walking because I have done it. I have done it. I have made mistakes in my life that when I was a new medical assistant, I sent reply all to an email
mm-hmm.
and it went to everyone in the whole doctor's office, including the doctors. Yeah, yeah, even the doctor, thank goodness it wasn't anything bad, but the doctor was like, "What are you contacting me for? What is this?" So, if we can all just learn to laugh at ourselves and know that it's okay to be imperfect and be a woman and really just embrace your femininity
Right,
and
and
stop beating yourself up for it.
absolutely. We wear millions of hats, being a mother, being wife, being daughter, being working women. We have many hats that we wear every day, and we try to be multitasker, And I was doing this Facebook Live one day, and I was talking about breastfeeding, and my child popped in, and then he started. So
You're like, hey, so didn't know we were gonna have a live demonstration here.
Absolutely. So to me, life is imperfect and real, and perfection is a myth. So
Exactly.
it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So
So, okay, what advice would you or suggestions would you give women that are walking the path of empowerment or that are trying to? And I think both ways are hard, but sometimes getting started is the hardest. It's a little easier when you get started, but if you don't have those cheerleaders, it can be harder. So, what would your advice be to women out there who are in a really toxic situation and are watching you right now and either need to get out or they need to pull their heads out and put on their big girl pants and get the job done?
sure, sure. So, we need to trust ourselves as a woman because we self-doubt so much, self-sabotage so much, and we listen to our inner voice so much that we forget about our potential. So get that momentum, get moving, and get that routine, early morning routine done, because you have to know what your purpose is. It's not only, okay, we've been in women, we have our family, we have our kids, but is this it? Is this only my purpose of life? You have to find out your why. Why you want to do this, why you want to move forward, what is stopping you. So you need to embrace that, negative thought, your imperfection that we were talking about earlier. You need to embrace that. You need to accept yourself to be able to move forward. Okay,
Exactly.
so I think that's the main think that if you don't like yourself, and if you don't embrace your imperfection, you cannot move forward. And another thing, just like we did, we kind of have each other to talk to, kind of lift each other up, than pulling our legs, then, I think that was when we were insecure of our, dreams. So, everybody is unique and they have their own potential. So, being insecurity is, I think that is a negative thing, that pulling yourself back than moving forward. So start being visible, start showing up, hey, dress up and, you know, do your daily routine. Nowadays, what my practice is like, doing yoga, doing dances with my kid in the morning. So I feel better and I release that positive hormones in my body,
Nice.
which kick me to do more.
And that kind of goes on to one of our next questions is how do you prevent burnout and how do you keep yourself balanced? Because
Absolutely.
profession, you're not only absorbing your regular everyday negative energy, you're also absorbing, you got clients. Like I have clients and they're usually telling me not fun stories and I have to protect myself, and but you're trying to tell people about nutrition and that's a fun thing because a lot of people don't, they want to eat what they want to eat and they don't want the healthy stuff. So how do
Right.
you take in and block all of that to, like you said, you do a little yoga in the morning?
Yes, I think that is the very important thing, that you make your own routine in the morning, because you get so much done in the morning before even plug in some music, before even plug in the radio, before even checking your emails, before even checking your news. I think we need to recharge our battery. That means, our hormones, we need to, balance our hormones in the morning. Okay,
Exactly.
so I think I do nowadays. I have the practice, like if I get chance, if I'm lucky, I step on the grass in the morning as a therapy. That cold and cold grass in my bare foot, it gives me some energy, like, kind of fresh energy. That's kind of my therapy. And I get in the house and do my yoga before even baby get up in the morning.
Nice.
So, basically around 5 o'clock, you know, as soon as I found my, dreams and my goal, I cannot sleep long.
Yeah.
So it's something that fire me up. Early morning. I don't even need alarm these days. That's
Nice.
funny thing.
Nice. So you,
So
yeah, well, that's
yeah,
good that you've got a good healthcare regimen, because that's what I try to tell
right.
my clients is it they want to get to the good part, and a lot of people roll their eyes when I tell them my program starts out with self-love and affirmations, and they're like, I already know this, and I'm like, that's great because you know it, but are you applying it? And that's what they always say, and I always tell you, my clients, it's a very big deal. They hear me like a broken record talking about the hour of power. You need 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes a night, hour a day for yourself, because it's ridiculous that we can't schedule an hour for ourselves, but we can seem to schedule 95 million uh, dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, school activities, and whatnot, and be super mom, but we're not allowed to take a bath for 10 minutes. Riddle me that, Batman. I have not figured that one out. So
Right. So I completely agree with you. Self-care, balancing that hormone in the morning, and with the good nutrition, food, breakfast, good quality breakfast in the morning is must.
yeah,
So without breakfast and without that, affirmation, the videos, the powerful videos. I have some of my favorites, Tony Robbins, and those two Robbins are my favorites, and a few other favorites. But it gives me some energy in my body, and good nutrition will balance it out. So even when I have my bad day in the afternoon, I can, my energy will not be drained out.
nice.
So
Yeah,
I can still
a good diet is
listen.
very, very important.
Right,
It
right.
sustains
Because it's
your
a
energy.
chemical reaction. If you put good, I would consider the good diet as a good chemical in your body. Because I'm a, biochemistry, but I have a biochemistry background. I completely understand that, molecules and cells, things.
Exactly.
So, it's like a more chemical to your body to, because hormones are chemical as well in your body. So if your diet understand the good hormones and become friends, there you go. You're
Awesome.
you're balanced.
Awesome. So, what is your vision, would you say, or your hope for professional women in the holistic and wellness field in the next 5 to 10 years? Um, and what would help empower future women as well?
Yeah, I think we talk about that in the beginning. As world need us like you and me now more than ever. Because right now the world is shifting towards the path where you need to trust your body. You need to give attention to your body. You need to take care of self-care, and you need to, improve that immune system, immune power within you, than trusting doctors and nurses and those medications only. That's what we've been doing. So whenever, that's why we have that health insurance. Where I come from in Nepal, there is maybe now they are starting, but there is no such thing as health insurance there. It's funny.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy. Like, I
it's
had a
crazy.
doctor from Nepal. I used to work for an infectious disease doctor from Nepal, and and he used to tell me about conditions like there was a hole in the ground and in some places and a board and there's your toilet. So
Right.
very different night and day from where we
Night and day.
know what we have here.
Yeah. So I think, right now, wellness coaches and, holistic coaches like you, we have, we can impact millions of lives right now. We can impact so many, I'm not talking about women here only, but there are so many male clients of mine, they don't speak up because we have so much expectation from them as a male, hey, that's like, we expect them to do this part of our lives, but if they don't fit in that section, we kind of, um, uh, what's the word? We
We
kind
try
of,
to make them fit and change
yes,
till they.
right,
So if they're circle, we try to make them square,
right, right.
pretty much. But yeah, I could totally see that, and it is unfair that but I think things are turning around, and that's where I see the vision of the next 5 to 10 years is that hopefully men will start catching on the train of
Right.
inner healing and know that holistic healing is for everybody. And yeah, and I hope to see more women like you that come from other countries that have seen both sides and really come out here and show us that it doesn't matter how much money you have or the environment you come from or wherever. It doesn't matter. It matters in here and what you have.
Absolutely. Yeah. Your background, where you come from, but which country you belong, whether you are male or female, it doesn't matter. It does matter is your mindset, where you are, and what you need to do. What's your purpose, your whys. So yes.
Exactly. So, what role have men played in your life, and what would you say that is, because I feel that's a very, if you had a good or a bad relationship, that really defines you as a woman, and a lot of times it's the defining factor of whether you go forward or you just stay. So, how is who's a significant male in your life that has really helped you? And do you think it's um, a big important part of being an empowered woman?
Absolutely. I would say, first and foremost, my dad. He helped me realize that education is important. you know uh, it is important for your whole life. You have that power within you to understand, because of the education, to open up your eyes. But I'm not saying that's the only way you can move forward and become empowered women, but that is part of it. So I think that helped me to get my education, until I get my bachelor. And right now, I would say my husband plays, he support me. When I was, it's funny, when I was in pregnancy, I went to the stage, after graduation. I went to the stage with my boy in my belly,
Oh,
and he was with me. My
nice.
husband was with me, and being in that moment, saying, hey, I'm here for you, means a lot for
Yeah.
me. And that pushes me every day to go and get my dreams come true, you know. So I also remember when he was my baby born in NICU, and you know, I had C-section, and you know, I was like kind of paralyzed because of the anesthesia
Oh,
medication.
wow.
So he helped me
A lot.
inside out. He helped me
Awesome.
so much. But I'm not saying this that those women who doesn't have the support, it may take a little bit longer for them, you know, to get the goal. But this is, you know, you can do it. You know, it may take,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
it may take you know, it may take a little bit longer to get my dream without these two support in my life, but you know, you can do it. You know, if you have fire in your belly, if you have hunger, and if you know your potential, you can do it.
Nice. Now, that's what I was going to ask is, now, have you had any bad males, like a boss, a toxic male that was not a good, that now how would you say that that helped you be an empowered woman? Because we've always had some toxic jerk in our life that really beat down our self-esteem somewhere. So speaking on that, because it's really easy to speak on the good parts of it, but for
Good
the
part.
other ones, what did you personally say that that helped you with in your life to be an empowered woman?
Sure. So being in developing country, you know, you know, it is male dominated society that, you know, you need permission. You know, you need, you feel like, you know, you need permission. You know, financially you are not stable. You know, emotionally you are not stable. So in that matter, I would say, you know, uh, you kind of rely on somebody, you know, and ask for the permission, you know. So being in that surrounding, um, I I I had that spark on me that I need to prove myself. You know, I can do so much better than this.
Nice.
Okay, so you know, don't treat me as a woman that I cannot. I'm innocent. I'm not innocent. You know, so that always remind me, you know, that I need to do better than this, and I need to, you know, make so many women realize this, because you stand out. You stand and protect your dreams, that you need to prove yourself, and you need to help other women to do the same,
Nice.
you know, because you don't wait and ask for your right. You go out there and, you know, demand and get your dream. That's your right, you know. So you don't wait. I don't.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want to say that.
That's awesome. I like it. So we're gonna wrap this up here. What advice can you, and you've already kind of said a little bit, but what advice can you give the group on how to not deny themselves of self-care and to not settle for anything less than their dreams?
Yes, I just wanted to say to basically, you know, especially my women, you know, my sister out there, you know, who are unhealed and, you know, who are waiting for somebody else to show their dreams, you know,
Or for the
be
knight in shining armor to show up?
right. Yeah. It's, you know, I am miserable. I am weak. I am this and that, you know, turn that around and say, I'm
Yeah.
strong. I can do it. You know, I need to do more than this. I need to serve more than my family, my kids. Yes, you are doing good. You are, you know, you are doing good. You know, you are helping your kids in a way, you know, to grow them and being, you know, make them better version of you. but that's not enough. That's
Exactly.
not enough, because we are too late to change this world. We can do it, and we need to go long way. Still, we need to go long way, and we
Yep.
can have it all.
It's just tenacity. And I always tell people I'm like Tinkerbell from Peter Pan and Neverland. And if you can dream it and you can believe it, you can dream it and it'll happen. So
Absolutely.
thank
You
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 so
need,
much. I
yeah,
love
you
that
need
you
to.
came
I
here.
love it.
It's
I love the
fantastic. Women like you give me a lot of inspiration to come from a whole nother country. When I was a medical assistant in my what is that? Where you have to go pretend to be a medical assistant in my interim in my practicum. I had to go and be a medical assistant for this family practice office, and my doctor was from Cuba, and his wife, they came over here in the 70s when that whole Fidel Castro thing was happening. She was a psychologist, he was a doctor out there. When you come over to America, though, apparently we don't acknowledge any of your certificates from another country and make you get right back into our schools, which is kind of
right,
ridiculous. So she was a psychologist and she didn't have all that time to go back through schooling. So she ended up um, being his office manager. And he went back and had to do his rounds and his, but he ended up being a family practice doctor because he was already older and was like, man, I can't go through. Could you imagine doing your schooling twice? They had a nurse from Korea that worked there and she was very smart and she had to come and do nursing school, the whole thing all over
right.
again, and she's already
Mm-hmm,
been practicing. And I understand it to a point, but I don't,
mm-hmm.
because I'm like, wow, you are awesome if you have that much tenacity and strength to do it twice. Because the first time when I went to medical, got my medical assistant associate's degree, which is, far from what you have, but hey, I'm about 30 credits away from my bachelor's, and that schooling was hard. Okay, taking all those A&P classes, that was psychology classes, all that stuff was hard, but I did it because I had a goal, and I couldn't imagine doing it twice. But kudos to you for coming over here and paving a way for yourself. That is amazing, because this is what this whole series is about, is that you have a dream and you want to take it, and you're not going to let anyone tell you no. And that's the awesome thing. And if they do tell you no, you're like, step aside, I'm going. So thank you
Absolutely, yeah.
thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming here. This
Thank
is
you for
awesome.
letting me share this story, because, it means a lot to me. And, we will be in that touch. I'm trying to build the community where, wellness coaches and holistic coaches really will be the team member to serve our community, so we can do so much more than what we think right now,
Yeah.
because uh, world is open up towards wellness and holistic field now. So I think we can do so much impact in our community, more than what even we think. So thank you to you also, Jesse.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in for Why Not Wednesday. And I gave Miss Sophia Cecil here. Um, and I hope you found it, your Empowered Woman certificate. So you can frame that and
Thank
have a
you.
reminder that you are an empowered woman. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out and listening to Sophia's story. And just remember to keep thinking positive, and sky's the limit. And Sophia just showed us right here. Love and light to everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. Tune in um, next Wednesday for our next Why Not Wednesday. Thank you so much. Love
Thank
and light,
you.
everybody. Love and light, everybody. Have a wonderful day.